Can you write down what language?
I feel like I can almost recognize.
Can you also give these to her? Maybe she can
Whoops. Wait till one.
click through. Yeah. I'm doing. Go through it and figure out what language, find your language.
All right. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for August 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the 2 a.m. calendar on the first of the month will also apply to these hearings. We're going to start with Janae Brighton. Ms. Brighton, if you'll please come all the way to the podium. You will be first. Right here, ma'am. After that, Ryan Trompler. If you'll go to the chair, you're going to be next. All right. Good morning, ma'am. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Janae Brighton in 09-26-98.
All right. Thank you. You are here on a new case. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. That's a Class 3 felony. Discharging a firearm in the city limits. That's a Class 6 felony. And based on your two children allegedly being in the car at the time you allegedly fired the weapon, they've also booked you for child abuse as a Class 2 felony. There is probable cause for all of those things, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference, September 2nd, which is this coming Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing September 4th at 8:30. The state recommended a $50,000 secured appearance bond in your case. In this case, you don't appear to have any prior criminal history, although there does appear to be a strong weight of evidence against you. But the court's going to balance those things and set bail in your case in the amount of $25,000 that is secured. Secured means you can use a bail bondsman. If you post it, you'll be on an ankle monitor under the supervision of pretrial services to keep you compliant with your release conditions, which of course include not going to the scene of the alleged crimes, no contact with any of the alleged victims. And in this case, that includes both of your children. No contact with them pending any further order of the court. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. If you're served with an order of protection or an order against harassment, you have to comply with those things as well. If you go ahead and have a seat out there, back out there, the officer's going to bring out your paperwork, or maybe she has it. There it is. Take that with you. That covers everything I just told you. Thank you. Mr. Trompler, Brian Trompler, and then Brandon Hernandez. Will you go to the chair? Sir, may I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Ryan Frederick Trompler.
Which date of birth?
4/20/87.
All right, thank you. You're here on one new case and one probation hold. In the new case, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, namely one or more large rocks. Those are Class 3 felonies. Well, sorry, they've only alleged one ag assault. It's a Class 3 felony. Also shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and third-degree criminal trespass. That's a Class 3 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a status conference, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing September 4th at 8:30. Those are both next week. You also have to go to probation court because the probation court will be filing a petition to revoke your probation based on this new arrest. So you will have a lawyer in that case also. Your next court date will also be September 2nd, 9 8:30 in the morning in the downtown probation court. That's a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. In the new case, your bond is $5,000 secured. In the probation case, it is $1,000 secured. That is $6,000 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your release conditions, call your POs in 72 hours. You may not go to any part of that quick trip. That includes parking lots and sidewalks. No contact with any of its employees. And if the officer has your paperwork, she'll hand it to you. If not, you can go ahead and step out to your left. She's going to get you your paperwork. All right, thank you. Mr. Hernandez, Brandon Hernandez. After that, John Ramirez. We go to the chair, please. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Brandon Hernandez, 10/23/73.
All right, thank you. You are here on a new case. You were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol as a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for that. I am not appointing a lawyer for you because you do not appear to financially qualify. You have the right to hire your own lawyer or to represent yourself. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing August 29th, which is 3 days from now. That is this Friday, August 29th, 8:30 in the morning in the Ironwood Justice Court. Based on what's been alleged against you, which includes your criminal history and the allegations that you could pose a flight risk, bond is set in your case at $2,500 that is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions. That includes no contact with any complaining witness or the arresting officers, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Everything you need to know is on your paperwork, and the officer either has that for you or you can step out. There, she got that for you.
Am I getting released now?
You have to bond out, sir. You have to bond out for the reasons I just gave you that are also in my written order. If you'll step to your left, you get it.
So otherwise I'm staying in jail today?
Correct. Correct. All right, Mr. Ramirez, John Ramirez. After that, Mr. Dwayne Ruth. We go to the chair, please. Podium, please, sir. May I have your full name and your date of birth?
John Ramirez, 10/19/1984.
All right, thank you. You're here on a new case. You were arrested for unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. That's a Class 5 felony. And first-degree criminal trespassing. That's a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for both of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a status conference, September 2nd, which is this Tuesday, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing September 4th at 8:30. Same court. That address is on your paperwork. Your bond is $2,500. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions. Particularly, do not go to the scene of the alleged criminal trespassing. No contact with any alleged victims or witnesses there. The officer's going to have your paperwork for you in just 1 second. And then, Mr. Ruth, you can go ahead and come in. All right, once you go ahead and have a seat, sir, she's going to get you that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ruth, after that, Kendrea, yellow hair. Will you go to the chair, please?
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, sir. May I have your full name and your date of birth?
Dwayne Paul Ruth, 03/09/2002.
Thank you. You're here on a probation warrant. You are on probation.
Yeah, I believe
Sir,
from like 5-6 years ago.
Sir, I'll tell you exactly what it is. You are on probation for a Class 6 felony, and this warrant was issued November 8th of 2023 after a petition to revoke your probation was filed on that date. Looks like your probation started November 21st of 2022. The petition alleges that you violated terms 3 and 5, and you will get a copy of that from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing on Tuesday, September 9th. I will give you a chance to talk. Just be patient.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Based on the age of this warrant and the probation notes in your case, bond is set in the amount of $2,000. It is secured. Now, what did you want to tell me?
Like I said, I haven't had any charges in over 5 years. That was my only charge ever, was just a simple petty assault charge against one other person. I was just seeing if there was any way I could have leeway, because I have a son that I have to go see. No, sir, this is for absconding from probation. It has nothing to do with new charges. You straight up absconded from felony probation. Well, that's what I'm saying. I had done the felony diversion program. I believe I've just missed one court date. That's but you
sir,
can
they
check
kick
your
you
systems.
out. We have extensive notes in your case, including that it appears you gave them a false address and you disappeared. So talk to your lawyer. This is alleged against you. You get a bench trial if you want one in front of the probation judge to test these allegations. I did appoint a lawyer for you. That's why you get one, because if you are found to have violated your probation, you will be resentenced. That means you could be sentenced to prison. The court is not going to let you run around without a bond under these circumstances when you've been in the wind for 2 years and this was a violent offense. Talk to your lawyer about defending the allegation that you violated your probation. It does appear to be very clear that you at least stopped reporting. So talk to your lawyer about all of this. Your lawyer will help you try to stay out of prison in this case. If you'll step to your left, she'll give you a copy of your paperwork.
I just have one more question. So would I be released today, or?
You must bond out. The bond is $2,000. It is secured.
There's not any way I can make it less because I don't have $2,000 on me right now, and I'm the only one that can bond myself out right now.
Then you will stay in custody at a minimum until next week, and you can talk to your lawyer about the case. Ms. Yellowhair? And then Sean Charis, will you go to the chair?
Miss, I'm sorry.
Sir, I will let you say one more thing, but your hearing has concluded.
Yes, I'm sorry, Miss. It's just, I've been working, I've been doing really good for myself. I've
Mr. Ruth?
been very successful
Talk to
the
your
last
lawyer.
2 years.
You may be very confused about what felony probation is and whether it is optional. It is not optional. There appears to be strong evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
You straight up
I had
walked
done that
away
for
2
almost
years
2
ago.
years.
So,
I had
Mr.
almost
Ruth,
did it for 2 years.
talk to your lawyer.
She wrote this down.
She's had to pay for it.
I contacted CICS to see if they do have a Navajo interpreter available, to see if maybe there's oh my God, I have something that I can try to interpret to see if that works.
Right, at least let's get one on there and talk to her and see if we can get closer. Okay, thanks. All righty, Ms. Yellowhair, after that, Sean Charis, will you go to the chair?
We've got Italian, Japanese,
I apologize. So, ma'am, so she also told you Italian? She pointed out Italian? All right, ma'am, we are trying to find an interpreter. This is going to delay your hearing. So I wanted to ask you one more time if you speak English enough to do this hearing, because apparently you've told us Navajo, but we have a Navajo speaker in the courtroom who said you are not speaking Navajo. You said you speak Puerto Rican, which is not a language, it is Spanish, but then you told me you don't speak Spanish. Apparently the DO said you also pointed out Italian, and what was the other language?
Japanese.
Japanese, okay. So, ma'am, I'm not going to be able to do your hearing right now. If you're telling me, I'll just ask you once clearly, what language do you need an interpreter for?
The paperwork.
We're not going to translate paperwork for you anyway.
I take it in myself. I take the papers from here.
Yes. What language were you born speaking?
The microphone and Navajo. Japanese is my first language, and then Navajo is my second.
You appear to be speaking very fluent English to me. Very fluent. Where were you born?
I was born in Arizona.
Okay.
I might have an Navajo.
All right, let's see if we can get a Navajo interpreter, because, ma'am, I'm very concerned that you're not either being honest or capable of being honest about the languages
She
that you
asked
speak.
about the papers, the headgear, the box, and I asked for the box so I can know what's going on my paper.
Did you go to school in Arizona?
Yes.
All right. And was that an English-speaking school?
Yes.
All right, did you graduate?
No.
Okay, when did you stop going to school?
I did after high school.
All right, so you made it through high school here in Arizona in the English language. Well, you made it through some of high school.
No.
None of high school.
No.
Okay. So, ma'am, it appears very, very clear to me that you speak English. I'm not an expert.
But the
I think we're going to have a
interpretation-
Navajo interpreter here,
I need the interpretation part.
but you clearly don't. We are having a conversation. You said you were born and raised in Arizona and went to English-speaking school. You patently speak English. So I'm not sure why you're telling us that you speak a wide variety of languages. I don't
Because
speak
you
enough.
ask.
Okay, well, it's fine if you speak lots of languages, but you clearly also speak English, right?
Just barely. It is some enough to get by. I needed the interpreter, and she asked.
Okay, so ma'am, actually, this entire conversation it leads me to believe you either have mental health issues or you think that trying to get an interpreter is going to help you with the outcome of this hearing. It's
No.
not. It could just delay the hearing.
No, she asked if we
Okay.
needed.
All right. And we're having a conversation in fluent and unaccented English, and you're telling me that you barely speak English. So, ma'am, I think at worst that's a lie. At best, that's a delusion.
Would you rather that I speak English to you and know what I'm talking about?
And
or
now
just-
suddenly your accent is far stronger.
Or
Now
just
suddenly you are
speak
putting on an accent. I heard no accent earlier, ma'am. I believe that's malingering.
That's
So-
why I don't talk.
So, yeah, all of a sudden you have an accent. So, do you want a Navajo interpreter? Do you want one? I'm going to have you sit down. We'll try to get one now. It may be many hours from now. Do you want a Navajo interpreter or any other one? You will be forced to speak that language and not English, and allow that person to translate for you. It sounds like when you were asked to speak Navajo, you were not speaking Navajo.
She not asked me how to speak Navajo.
She did ask, yeah. So, ma'am, do you want the words that I say translated into another language? If so, which one? Because we're going to have to get someone on the phone and make you wait while we do it. It may be many hours from now.
No, I understand quite clearly what you're saying.
Okay, well, that's enough for me. I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to make a few notes about our entire exchange because I want people to be able to watch it, including your lawyer. All right. Are you Kendra Lynn Yellowhair? Okay. Were you born October 6th of 1986? Okay. All right. You are here because there was a criminal complaint filed against you in July of this year. It alleges that on January 18th of this year, you committed aggravated assault on a first responder. That's a class 4 felony, and criminal trespass in the second degree. That is a class 2 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a status conference, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing will be September 4th at 8:30 in the same court. Your bond is $2,000. It is secured. If you bond out, do not go to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with the alleged victim, nor any arresting officers, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. You may not leave the state of Arizona without the court's consent. And you are going to get a copy of all of that. We're printing it now. If you please go have a seat out to your left, we will send you out a copy. Good luck, ma'am. All right, Mr. Charis. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Sean Sharust.
What's your date of birth?
September 6, 2006.
All right, thank you. You're here on a new case. You were arrested for criminal trespassing in the first degree. It is a class 6 felony. There is probable cause for it, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date is the status conference, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. That's this Tuesday, with a preliminary hearing September 4th at 8:30 in the same court. Bond is set in your case at $2,000 secured. I note the state requested $10,000 secured out of victim safety concerns. But this court is hopeful, with an apparent lack of criminal history, that $2,000 secured and an ankle monitor will be sufficient to protect the alleged victims in this case. If you post the $2,000, you go on an ankle monitor. You may not leave Maricopa County nor the state of Arizona without the court's permission. You may not have any contact with the alleged victims, not from jail, not outside of jail, you just may have none, and that includes no third-party contact, no social media, nothing. Absolutely no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. The alleged victims includes everyone in the house. Part of the reason for the state's concerns and the courts are the allegations of repeated violations and a 17-year-old juvenile victim being among the victims. So I want to make it very clear, you may not have contact with her nor anyone who lives at that house. You may not respond to any contact from her or any of them. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, if you step to your left, you get a copy of your paperwork.
Sorry, I'm stuck in Arizona. I've been trying to get home all day.
This is going to make you more stuck. You do not have permission to leave. If you show up at your next court date, which is Tuesday.
I just have nowhere to stay. That's the only reason
you need to get a list of shelters. You need to get a list of shelters. And reading the probable cause statement, I figured that was probably part of the problem, but they also allege, they have not booked you for it, but they allege assaultive behavior toward the 17-year-old. And that gives the court and obviously the prosecutor's office great pause. But they did not book you for that. If they had, your bond would have been higher. So right now, this is for the repetitive criminal trespass and the idea that you have no other ties to Arizona and you have a strong motive to do it again. So what you'll have to do if you post the bond is stay in a hotel, an Airbnb, or a shelter. You can stay in a shelter while you wear an ankle monitor. You'll have to call in. You'll have to keep it charged, and pretrial services will explain that to you if and when you post the bond. As long as you show up at your next court hearing, you can talk to your lawyer about requesting that the trial court let you go back to Massachusetts or elsewhere while the case is pending. I'm not giving you permission to do that. Part of the reason for the bail is that you do not have any apparent ties to Arizona.
Okay.
So your case could get worse right now based on what's already occurred. The county attorney could charge more charges. But I tell you, if you violate release conditions while it's pending, you will catch a new case. And then this will go from extremely troublesome and inconvenient to potentially life-changing.
I never knew I was sorry to interrupt.
Do not violate release conditions.
I never knew I was trespassed, like, officially. Like, they never told me not to come back. They just, the grandpa, he kind of just laid his hands on me, beat my ass.
Talk to your lawyer about this. There's a lot alleged against you. There is a lot alleged against you. And so talk to your lawyer about that. In the meantime, if you bond out, do not leave the state. Do not violate electronic monitoring. Do not have any contact with any alleged victims there, particularly that 17-year-old. That is a juvenile, and right now you do not qualify. Let me just point out, you do not qualify for Arizona's exception to sex conduct with a minor. It is very specific and it is very narrow. I believe, based on the facts as I understand them, you do not qualify for it, which means it's a Class 6 felony to have sexual contact with her. And so be very careful not to violate release conditions. Already, you are in a position that could get worse from here. Do not make it far worse by violating release conditions. You need to talk to your lawyer. I gave you a lawyer. You're back in court on Tuesday. If you step to your left, you get a copy of your paper. Mr. Jones, Roy Jones, and then Dixon Dunbar. Will you go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Roy Jean Johns, June 12th, 1991.
All right, thank you. You're here on a petition to revoke your probation that was filed September 10th of 2024. It looks like it is a supplemental petition, that there was a different one sent out by summons, but assuming that there are two petitions pending, you will find out the details of the other one at your next hearing. I only have this one that turned into a warrant in September of last year. Okay. This one alleges that you violated terms 3, 4, 7, and 15 of your intensive probation. All righty. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is September 2nd, which is this Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your bond is $2,000. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions, and your paperwork is going to say 72 hours because I didn't notice that you are on intensive probation, but your terms of probation say you have to call within 24 hours of any release from jail. If you don't post bond, you don't have to call. All right. If you post bond, you have 24 hours to call them and start complying because you're still on probation even when they're trying to revoke you. All right. If you step to your left, she'll give you paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Dunbar? And then Wilfred Burton. Good morning, sir. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Dixon William Dunbar IV, June 29, 1985.
Thank you. You're here on a new case. You were arrested for assault and disorderly conduct. Those are Class 1 domestic violence misdemeanors. There is probable cause for both of those. I'm not appointing a lawyer for you because you do not appear to financially qualify. You have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense or to represent yourself. Your arraignment hearing will be Tuesday, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the El Mirage City Court. The address is on your paperwork. Based on what's been alleged against you, the number of victims, and your prior arrest history, bond is set in your case at $1,000. It is secured. If you bond out, you must comply with all of your written conditions, which of course include you may not go to nor reside at the scene of the alleged crimes. You may not have any contact with the alleged victims. That absolutely includes your children. I have made that clear in the order. And right now, as I noted, I saw that you had a similar arrest, only with an ag assault on a minor alleged in May, that has not to date resulted in charges. That does not mean it's gone. There's a 7-year statute of limitations on felonies. So whatever is happening with that, it can definitely be brought back from the dead if right now it's not already pending further information. So talk to your lawyer about that. Absolutely no contact with the alleged victims. The court is extremely concerned in your case about witness intimidation or retaliation. And I will tell you, Mr. Dunbar, I don't know if DCS is involved. It's probably imminent or should be. And that if it's alleged that children are calling the police to protect their mother, that is something that is going to go into family court proceedings, and it will be used against you, whether you take a conviction in this case or not. It is a very, very bad sign
No.
of problems, and it gives the court tremendous pause when that is alleged. Now, could the 12-year-old be lying? Possibly, but it's also alleged that there's video, which is why the court is extremely concerned about witness intimidation or retaliation. Any whiff of that could be felony witness tampering.
Mm-hmm.
Any violation of the no victim contact order that is booked as harassment could get you held on felony harassment. And if the court were to read that somebody is alleged to be intimidating or retaliating against a 12-year-old, that will be a high cash bond. Regardless, even if that child is straight up lying, you are not to have contact with him, nor any of the children in the house, nor your spouse while the case is pending, unless you get a further order from your court, which is going to be El Mirage City Court. You have to find another place to stay. If you bond out, you can do a civil standby with El Mirage PD. That is the only way you go there. You call the non-emergency number. You may have done this once before in May. Do a civil standby to collect belongings. You are not allowed to go there on your own. Absolutely no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. If you could serve with an order of protection, you comply with that as well. All right, everything's going to be on your paperwork. If you step to your left, she's going to give you a copy. Ms. Burton, Mr. Burton, pardon me, Wilfred Burton, and then John Garcia, will you go to the chair? Hello, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Wilfred Brian Burton, 5/10/76.
All right, thank you. You're here on one new case and 2 probation holds. In the new case, you got booked in for possessing dangerous and narcotic drugs. Those are Class 4 felonies, drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony, and driving on a suspended license, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you in this case and in both of your probation cases. In your probation case, you're on probation for 2 Class 6 felonies, and the probation department will be filing petitions to revoke your probation based on this new arrest. So you have to go to probation court also. You'll have a lawyer for that as well. Same court date for everything. Your next court date is this Tuesday, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Then in the new case only, you will have a preliminary hearing, and that'll be September 4th at 8:30. In each of your probation cases, your bond is $500 secured. In the new case, it is $50 secured to make you eligible for credit for time in custody, because in the absence of the probation cases, we may well have released you in that case. So your total bond is $1,050. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions, call your PO within 72 hours of release. If you step to your left, she has a copy of that paperwork for you. Mr. Garcia, John Garcia, and then Manuel Munoz. Will you please go to the chair? Manuel Munoz. All right, hi, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth?
John Manuel Garcia, 4/13/1976.
Thank you. You're here on a warrant in a pending criminal case. No, I'm sorry. This is a pending probation revocation. You are on probation for a Class 4 felony, and back on October 28th of 2024, you failed to appear at a revocation arraignment hearing, and there was a warrant issued for your arrest.
Okay.
Your next court date will be a revocation arraignment hearing, September 2nd at 8:30. You already have a lawyer. I'm affirming the bond that was set for you, which is $500 secured with written conditions. If you bond out, comply with all of those and call your PO within 72 hours.
Thank you.
Step to your left to get paperwork.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Munoz, and then Marcos Quesada, we go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Manuel Munoz, 10/4/78.
All right, thank you. You are here on a probation violation warrant. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony, and on July 28th of this year, there was a petition to revoke your probation filed. It alleges that you violated terms 3 and 5. You'll receive a copy of that from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court date in probation court is a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing this Tuesday, September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. The court address is on your paperwork. Your bond is $500. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions and call your PO within 72 hours. She got your paperwork for you. Thank you. Mr. Quesada, and then Jared Schultz. Will you go to the chair, please? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Marcos Quesada Anthony.
November 3rd of 2000?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're here because there's been a criminal complaint filed against you for an older case. This dates back to April 19th of 2024, so pushing 18 months ago. You are accused of possessing dangerous and narcotic drugs. Those are both Class 4 felonies, and drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I am going to appoint a lawyer for you and give you 2 court dates. The first one is September 10th, a status conference, September 10th at 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing, September 12th at 8:30. That's 2 weeks from now in the downtown Superior Court. And in your case, although looks like a bond was recommended, this is a newly filed case, meaning you have not missed any court dates. It only turned into a warrant because the state didn't have any address information for you, and they believed that you were living on the street. That appears to be true that you're living on the street, but that doesn't mean you won't come to court. So I'm going to give you a chance to prove it, Mr. Quesada. I'm going to release you. If you prove that you won't come, you are absolutely getting a bond next time, okay? I'm giving you a chance fair and square to come because you've never missed a court date. It's the first time you've ever heard that the case was filed. Just don't miss any court dates, and then we don't have any reason to hold you, okay? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you got to come to court in 2 weeks. Do not lose that paperwork. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. I want you to call and check in with them. They'll help you keep track of your court dates and not miss them. And in your case, you very likely may get what's called a diversion offer, which means if the county attorney wants to offer you drug treatment, you might never take a conviction. But that's up to the county attorney. And if you don't show up for court, you look like a very bad candidate for that. You've got a lot of juvenile history that suggests to me you're not likely to come. But I'm going to give you a chance, Mr. Quesada. Prove it, or you will or you won't come to court. But nobody else is going to do it a second time. All right? So if you don't like jail, you must come to court. Okay? All right. Keep all your paperwork, sir. Good luck. All right, and then Mr. Schultz, Jared Schultz. After that, Jesse Garcia, will you go to the chair? Hello, sir, can I have your full name and date of birth?
Jared Schultz, April 7, 2003.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You were arrested for possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and theft by possession of a stolen weapon, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be a status conference September 10th, which is 2 weeks from now, 8:30 in the morning, with a preliminary hearing September 12th at 8:30. The address for the court is on your paperwork. It's in downtown Phoenix. I'm going to release you to pretrial services supervision as well. Right now, you are not accused of doing anything particularly nefarious with the gun, just possessing it, and it was stolen. So, go to court. You are not without criminal history. It looks like you've got a warrant out of Globe. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I've got some,
Glad I didn't read that first. So that sort of tends to suggest you don't like to go to court, Mr. Schultz. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. Hopefully this whole experience has impressed upon you the idea that you need to go to court in a felony case. We are going to give you a bond next time if you don't come, particularly in a gun case. So go to court, comply with pretrial services. You may well qualify for a diversion offer. I don't think you have any priors. No felony ones.
Yeah.
This is not misdemeanor court. You will get zero sympathy for missing court. Hopefully you have figured that one out. It's not a doctor's appointment. Show up or don't. If you don't, and you're using drugs, which it looks like you are, we'll see you again pretty soon, and then we'll just hold you. So everything's on your paperwork. Step to your left, check your copies.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir. Mr. Garcia, and then Gabriela Olguin, will you go to the chair?
Good morning.
Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Jesse Alexander Garcia, and January 18, 2000.
Okay, thanks. And Mr. Garcia, just for my own knowledge, are you dressed out because they didn't like your clothes, or do you have another case?
No, I got arrested at the gym, and I had a cutout thingy.
I see. Okay. That's what I figured. Because if you were stuck in on something else, I needed to know that. But I was figuring it was probably steel-toed boots or gym clothes or something. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're here on 2 warrants from Goodyear City Court. Looks like you're on probation in that court for misdemeanor DUI, extreme DUI, and DV assault. And you apparently have fallen behind in things. So they issued warrants for your arrest. I'm going to give you a court date of September 10th, which is 2 weeks from now at 1 in the afternoon. As near as I could triangulate, don't tell me if I'm wrong, this is the first post-conviction warrant in your cases. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to go and talk to them. If you have a bad address with them, you fix it when you get to Goodyear. If you just ignored their angry letters, now you know what happens.
Thank you.
So if you get released from the jail and you do not go, you're getting a bond next time.
Yes,
go talk to them. You owe them money. You might owe them classes. You might owe them alcohol testing. I don't even know. Go talk to them. If you fail to appear, that's a reason to give you a bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so take your paperwork, step to your left.
Thank
Good luck,
you.
sir.
Thank you, Jesus.
Ms. Olguin, Gabriela Olguin. Hello, ma'am. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Gabriela Montoya Holguin, October 8th, 1994.
Okay, thanks. You're hearing a new case. This is going to be out of Peoria City Court. You were booked in for unlawful imprisonment alleged as a Class 1 misdemeanor because it can be alleged as a felony, but the police today have booked you into City Court and alleged it as a misdemeanor. Also, disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and assault as a Class 2 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those. I'm not appointing a lawyer for you, though, because right now, I'm going to release you. And in the city court cases, they have asked that this court not appoint a lawyer at this hearing if the state is requesting jail time or if the Peoria court determines that you need a lawyer and you financially qualify, they will give you one out of their court. They just don't want us to do it unless we're holding you on a bond. I'm not planning to hold you on a bond. So it's not that I don't find that you could qualify for court-appointed counsel. It appears that you probably could, but those cities do not want to pay for court-appointed counsel unless the state is asking for jail time in a nutshell, or there is some other reason that presents itself. So what you have is the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense, or you just need to go and represent yourself. So your next court date is going to be an arraignment hearing September 11th at 9 in the morning in the Peoria City Court. The address is on your paperwork. You don't appear to have any prior criminal history. And so the allegations are of some concern, but I do see that the police state that the alleged victim was taken to urgent psychiatric care and is hopefully not there at this moment. And as I said, you do not have any prior criminal history, which is very likely part of why they did not book you for a felony, because the unlawful imprisonment is one that can be alleged either way. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You still may not have any contact with this alleged victim. You can't live where he lives, and I don't know where he's living, so I put in a provision that says you just can't live where he lives. If you do, then you can do a civil standby to collect belongings and you have to stay somewhere else. But if he's not living where you may have lived together in the past, you're okay to be there as long as he doesn't live there. Hopefully that makes sense. But if he gets out of urgent care and comes straight back there and says, this is where I live, you could get arrested for violating the court order. So be careful with that. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. If you get served as an order of protection, comply with that as well. Any questions about any of that? I know that was a lot. Yeah. I'm releasing you. Don't contact him. Do not miss your court dates. And don't live where he lives. So it could get weird. Like, I don't know everybody's home situation. So if and when he gets out of urgent psychiatric care, there's going to be some dispute about who gets to live there. You should find somewhere else to go, because you're the one who could get arrested for being there, not him. So everything's on your paperwork, though. Just take that to court. If you can get yourself a lawyer, bring them with you. If you can't afford one, just go and represent yourself, and you can talk to the Peoria judge about whether they might be willing to appoint a lawyer for you. I cannot anymore. Okay. All right, if you step to your left, you get your paperwork. Okay, so officer, I have Rudy Ramirez, Angelica Molina, and Ralph Reyes as house calls today. Are they not physically present in court because they've been isolated from general population as a potential risk to themselves or others?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I do have an affirmative answer from the sheriff's office on that. So I'm going to go conduct the initial appearances in-house for each of those defendants immediately after this recording. I will let Mr. Rudy Ramirez, born 1/14/05, know that he's here on a bench warrant for failing to appear in a case in which he's been charged with narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony, and criminal trespassing as a Class 2 misdemeanor. He already has a lawyer in this case. We're going to schedule a post-warrant status conference for him September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. And bond, I'm inclined to do bond in his case at $500 secured with written conditions I'll go over with him. Angelica Lorraine Molina, born 2/2/85, is here in a new case. She was arrested for 2 allegations of aggravated assault on a first responder, which the court finds probable cause for as Class 4 felonies. 1 allegation of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. 1 allegation of resisting arrest passively as a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for her. Her next court date will be a status conference, September 2nd at 8:30, with the preliminary hearing, September 4th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. And I'm currently inclined to set bail in the amount of $10,000 secured. I believe the state may have asked for $15,000. I believe $10,000 secured plus ankle monitoring will hopefully be enough, because I am planning also to order her not to reside in that apartment complex while the case is pending. She can do a civil standby to collect belongings, but she's not to go there or live there while the case is pending without another court order. No contact with any alleged victim or complaining witness. No weapons, drugs, no alcohol. All right, Ralph Reyes is here on a new case and a probation hold. In the new case, he was arrested for criminal trespass of a critical public service facility. That's a Class 5 felony, and there is probable cause for it. I am appointing a lawyer for him, giving him a court date of September 2nd for a status conference, 8:30 in the morning, preliminary hearing September 4th at 8:30. Those will be in the downtown Superior Court, and he's also on probation for criminal trespass of a critical public service facility, which according to police is the identical one he was trespassed at today. So I am appointing a lawyer for him in probation court as well, and giving him court date of September 2nd, 8:30 in the morning, in the downtown probation court for revocation or even a possible disposition hearing. The court is currently inclined to set bail in the amount of $2,500 per case for $5,000 total with written conditions I'll go over with him, which includes not going there, no contact with any complaining witnesses, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and calling his PO within 72 hours. If anything changes when I conduct these initial appearances in-house, my final order in the case will reflect the court's ultimate decision. The court will not be updating this recording following those initial appearances. The final order in the docket will contain the court's decision. Alrighty, then with that, we are going to stand in recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Commissioner Hughes. This is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for Tuesday, August 26th. Do I have a court interpreter on the line?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Jennifer Clary, Spanish court interpreter.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clary. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I'm ready to get started. Are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon again, everybody. As we get started in here this afternoon, I will call each of you into the courtroom one at a time.
Buenas tardes a todos. Vamos a empezar y voy a llamar su nombre uno por uno para que entre a la sala.
I'll ask one person to stand behind the gray podium here in front of me in the courtroom. I'll ask the next two people that I intend to call into the courtroom to line up in the two blue chairs right inside this door.
Ahora le voy a pedir a la primera pregunta que pase por delante aquí en esta sala, directamente al podio de color gris, y luego las dos personas siguientes, por favor, que pasen aquí a las sillas de color azul.
Once you work your way into the courtroom and you're behind the podium, I will start by asking you to state your full name and date of birth. Then I'll tell you why you're here.
Ahora, una vez dentro de la sala, ahí parado en el podio, le voy a pedir que me diga su nombre completo, fecha de nacimiento, y luego le voy a explicar la razón por la cual está aquí.
You all have the right to the assistance of counsel in a criminal case. While you're in the courtroom, I will tell you whether you are getting a court-appointed lawyer, sometimes called a public defender.
Todos ustedes tienen derecho a tener asistencia letrada en un caso penal. Mientras todavía esté aquí, le voy a decir si recibirá un abogado de oficio. A veces se llama un abogado defensor.
Whether or not you qualify for a public defender, you always have the right to hire a private lawyer to represent you if you wish to.
Ahora que sepa que independientemente se reúnen los requisitos necesarios para tener un abogado de oficio, siempre cuenta con el derecho a contratar un abogado particular a gasto propio.
When you're in the courtroom, I will also give you the next court hearing dates and times that you'll be required to attend.
Mientras todavía esté aquí en la audiencia, también le voy a decir para cuándo tiene su próxima audiencia, la fecha y la hora.
And the last thing that we'll do while you're in the courtroom is talk about whether you are legally eligible for release from custody, and if you are, we'll go over on what terms and conditions you could be released.
Y por último, vamos a hablar de si reúne los requisitos necesarios para su soltura, y si resulta que sí, hablaremos de las medidas cautelares y las condiciones en ese momento.
In addition to that right to the assistance of counsel, you all also have the right to remain silent.
Además, ese derecho que tiene a tener a un abogado también cuenta con el derecho a guardar silencio.
Anything that you do say in the courtroom this afternoon could be used against you at any point down the line in these proceedings.
Que sepa que cualquier cosa que diga o haga durante la audiencia esta tarde o aquí en la sala de tribunal esta tarde se puede usar en su contra en el futuro en las demás audiencias en el caso.
Even if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer, there will not be a lawyer in the courtroom this afternoon to defend you.
Aún se reúnen los requisitos para que se le nombre un abogado de oficio. No habrá ningún abogado de oficio aquí presente para defenderlo esta tarde.
Because you will not have a lawyer in here and because anything you say could be used against you, I will strongly caution all of you against making any statements regarding the facts about why you're here.
Dado que no hay ningún abogado aquí para representarlo y no hay nadie aquí para ayudar, la verdad es que quisiera advertirle que no debería hacer ninguna declaración acerca de los hechos en ese caso en su contra.
Okay, last thing before we get started, all the information you get while you're in the courtroom will be given to you in a written document called a release order as soon as you step back into that room.
Por último, toda la información que se va a mencionar aquí durante esa audiencia se le dará por escrito en una orden de medidas cautelares en cuanto regrese al otro cuarto.
Okay, can I please have Jackson Raya Quintero in the courtroom behind the gray podium?
Por favor, que pase Joxan Adrián Rea Quintero al podio aquí en la sala.
Baldomero Guzman Rodriguez, you will be up next if you'll take a seat in that chair.
Señor Baldomero Guzmán Rodríguez, usted va a seguir después del primer acusado. Por favor, que tome asiento ahí en esa silla.
Okay, good afternoon. May I please have your full name and date of birth?
Buenas tardes. Su nombre completo, por favor, y fecha de nacimiento.
Johnson Adrián Raya Quintero, 8 de enero de 2003.
My name is Adrián Raya Quintero, January 8th, 2003.
Okay, thank you very much. You are here on a grand jury warrant.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Usted está aquí por un acto de aprehensión que se emitió después del jurado indagatorio.
A state grand jury was convened and found probable cause to return an indictment against you.
Ahora, un jurado indagatorio se reunió y ese jurado indagatorio falló que hay motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra y emitió un escrito inculpatorio en su contra.
That indictment contains one count of conspiracy, a class 2 felony.
Ahora, ese escrito inculpatorio tiene los siguientes cargos. El primer punto acusatorio, concierto para delinquir, un delito mayor de clase 2.
One count of narcotic drug possession for sale, also a class 2 felony.
Un punto acusatorio de tenencia de drogas narcóticas para la venta, también un delito mayor de clase 2.
One count of illegally conducting an enterprise and one count of money laundering, both class 3 felonies.
Un punto acusatorio de operar una asociación ilícita y un punto acusatorio de lavado de dinero. Los dos son delitos mayores de clase 3.
According to the grand jury warrant, these offenses are all alleged to have been committed February 2nd of 2022.
Según el escrito inculpatorio del jurado indagatorio, se cometieron esos delitos, todos esos delitos más bien, el 2 de febrero de 2022.
I did appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Le he nombrado un abogado para que lo represente.
Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing September 2nd at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown.
Ahora, la próxima audiencia que tendrá usted será la vista de la formulación de los cargos el 2 de septiembre a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior en el centro de la ciudad.
On this warrant, you have a $50,000 cash-only bond.
En ese auto de aprehensión en su contra hay una fianza ya fijada de $50,000, solo dinero en efectivo.
If you post that bond and you're released from custody, you cannot have contact with any witnesses or co-defendants of the underlying allegations.
Ahora, si usted depositara la fianza y si saliera, no puede tener contacto alguno con ningún testigo ni con ningún coacusado involucrado en el caso subyacente.
You also could not possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription if you were released from custody.
En caso de que lo soltaran de custodia, tampoco puede tener ningún tipo de arma y no puede tener ningún tipo de droga o medicamentos sin contar con una receta válida.
Do you understand those conditions?
¿Entiende usted esas condiciones?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. If you will wait 1 second for your paperwork, then you can head back to your left.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Por favor, espere tantito para hasta los papeles. Ahora usted a la izquierda. Sí.
Okay, can I please have Baldomero Guzman Rodriguez into the courtroom? Juvenile Ortiz, you will be next if you'll work your way to the chair.
Ahora Baldomero Guzmán Rodríguez, por favor, que pase enfrente al podio y luego Juvenal Ortiz, por favor, que tome asiento ahí en la silla.
Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Tu nombre y fecha de nacimiento, por favor.
Baldomero Guzmán, 28 de octubre de 1976.
Baldomero Guzmán, October 28th, 76.
Not October 26th?
No, es el 26 de octubre.
No, 28 de octubre.
No, the 28th of October.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
No, thank you.
Bueno, muchas gracias, señor.
Okay, you are here on two different matters. The first one is an initial arrest warrant issued by the Arrowhead Justice Court.
Bueno, usted está aquí en dos casos distintos. Uno tiene que ver con un acto de aprehensión en su contra del juzgado de paz de Arrowhead.
The allegation in that case is one count of contracting without a license. It is a misdemeanor allegation.
Ahora, hay una sola aseveración asociada con ese auto, que es un punto acusatorio de actuar como contratista sin contar con la licencia necesaria para hacerlo, o es un delito menor.
The allegation in that case is alleged to have been committed June 9th of 2022.
Supuestamente se cometió esa infracción el día 9 de junio 2022.
You are entitled to a lawyer in that misdemeanor case at a minimum for purposes of release conditions.
Ahora, usted tiene derecho a tener a un abogado en el caso de delito menor como mínimo para que lo represente en cuanto a las medidas cautelares.
That lawyer will be appointed at your next court hearing, which will be an arraignment August 28th at 8:30 in the morning in the Arrowhead Justice Court.
Ahora, se le va a nombrar un abogado durante la próxima audiencia que usted tendrá, la cual será la vista de la formulación de los cargos el día 28 de agosto a las 8:30 de la mañana en el juzgado de paz de Arrowhead.
On that warrant, you have a $500 secured appearance bond.
Ahora, por ese auto de aprehensión hay una fianza con garantía de $500.
The second matter that you're here on is allegations of new felony offenses.
Ahora, usted tiene un segundo caso, hay acusaciones nuevas de delitos mayores.
Those allegations are one count of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony.
Ahora, esos cargos son un punto acusatorio de tenencia de drogas nocivas, un delito mayor de clase 4.
And 2 counts of drug paraphernalia possession, both class 6 felonies.
Y 2 puntos acusatorios de tenencia de adminículos para el consumo de drogas. Los dos son delitos mayores de clase 6.
I did find probable cause to support the dangerous drug allegation and 1 drug paraphernalia allegation.
He fallado que hay un motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra por el cargo de drogas nocivas y también por uno de los 2 cargos de tenencia de adminículos para el consumo de drogas.
I did not find probable cause to support the second allegation of drug paraphernalia possession.
Fallo que no hay motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra respecto al segundo punto acusatorio de tenencia de adminículos para el consumo de drogas.
I have appointed a lawyer to represent you in this case.
Le he nombrado un abogado para que lo represente en este caso.
Your next court hearings on those felony allegations will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th.
Ahora, las próximas audiencias que tendrá usted en el caso nuevo de los delitos mayores son el 2 de septiembre tendrá una consulta de gestión del caso y el 4 de septiembre la audiencia preliminar.
Both of those hearings will be at 8:30 in the morning in the Superior Court downtown.
Ahora, las dos audiencias son a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior en el centro.
On those felony allegations, you have a $50 secured appearance bond.
Ahora, respecto a esos delitos mayores, usted tiene una fianza con garantía de $50.
That means your total bond for both cases will be $550. It is all secured appearance.
Lo que quiere decir que la fianza total en los dos casos son $550 con una caución con garantía.
If you post that and you are released from custody, in addition to getting yourself to all of your next court hearings, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Ahora, si usted depositara la fianza y si saliera de custodia, además de tener que comparecer las próximas audiencias en el tribunal, usted no puede tener ningún tipo de droga ni medicamentos sin contar con una receta válida.
Do you understand those conditions?
¿Entiende usted esas condiciones?
Swear and I understand.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Muy bien, gracias, señor, que vuelva a recoger sus papeles.
Okay, Juvenile Ortiz, if you would please work your way into the courtroom.
Que pase a la sala el señor Juvenal Ortiz.
Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Su nombre, señor, por favor, y fecha de nacimiento.
5/17/69.
5/17/69.
And your name?
¿Y su nombre?
Juvenal Ortiz Flores.
Juvenal Ortiz Flores.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, you are here on 4 different matters.
Bueno, muchas gracias, señor. Usted está aquí en 4 casos distintos.
The first matter you're here on is an allegation of a new charge. It is 1 count of burglary, a Class 4 felony.
Ahora, el primer caso es un cargo nuevo de entrada ilícita con fines delictivos en propiedad ajena, un delito mayor de clase 4.
The other 3 matters you're here on are all allegations that new charge violates term 1 of your probation.
Ahora, los otros 3 casos en su contra son aseveraciones que indican que el cargo nuevo se trata de un quebrantamiento de su libertad vigilada.
I did not find probable cause to support the new burglary allegation, which means I also did not find probable cause to support term 1 probation violations.
Ahora están diciendo que ha quebrantado la primera condición de su libertad vigilada. Sin embargo, he fallado que no hay motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra respecto al cargo nuevo de entrada ilícita con fines delictivos en propiedad ajena, lo que implica que tampoco puedo fallar que haya motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra en los demás casos que usted haya quebrantado la condición de su libertad vigilada.
Here's what that means for you.
¿Eso es lo que quiere decir?
It means you will be released from custody today without any release conditions imposed upon you.
Eso quiere decir que sí lo van a soltar de custodia aquí hoy sin medida cautelar alguna.
Other than 1 condition.
Aparte de una sola condición.
That 1 condition is that you attend court hearings in all 4 of these cases.
Esa condición será que comparezca todas sus audiencias en el tribunal en todos los 4 casos.
My finding of no probable cause here does not mean that these allegations are legally dismissed. It is possible that the county attorney's office will formally charge these matters.
Ahora que sepa, mi fallo que no hay motivo de enjuiciamiento en su contra no quiere decir que se haya desestimado el caso por completo en su contra de manera legal, porque siempre existe la posibilidad de que la Fiscalía del Condado de Maricopa de manera formal presente los cargos en su contra.
Because it is possible that this could be charged, I am appointing a lawyer to represent you in all 4 cases.
Dada la posibilidad de que se le puede acusar de esos cargos, le voy a nombrar a un abogado para que lo represente en los 4 casos.
You will also have to go to court in all 4 cases. Your first hearing will be a probation revocation hearing, September 2nd at 8:30.
También usted tendrá que tener audiencias en el tribunal en los 4 casos. O sea, la primera audiencia que tendrá será el 2 de septiembre a las 8:30 de la mañana para tratar el asunto de la posible revocación de su libertad vigilada.
Next, you will have a status conference September 10th, and then a preliminary hearing September 12th, also at 8:30 downtown on the new potential burglary allegation.
La próxima audiencia después será una consulta de gestión del caso el 10 de septiembre y luego una audiencia preliminar el día 12 de septiembre. Las 2 audiencias a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior en el centro respecto al caso nuevo de entrada ilícita con fines delictivos en propiedad ajena.
But you will be released today, and you will be responsible for getting yourself to all of those next court hearings.
Pero de nuevo lo van a soltar ya hoy y usted tendrá la responsabilidad solo de acudir y presentarse más bien para sus próximas audiencias en el tribunal.
Do you understand all of that information?
¿Entiende toda esa información? Yes.
Sí.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ortiz. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Muchas gracias, señor Ortiz, que vuelva y recoja sus papeles.
Okay, Madam Interpreter, those are the 3 individuals I had marked as requesting a Spanish interpreter. Could I ask you before you disconnect to please make an inquiry of the gallery to see if there's anybody that we might have missed?
Of course, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien más que necesite servicios de interpretación en español? Que levante la mano, por favor.
Any hands, officer? No. Okay, I'm told no hands were raised. Thank you very much, Ms. Clary. I appreciate your assistance. You are free to disconnect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
You too. Okay, can I please have Brandon Jackson into the courtroom behind a gray podium, please. Anthony Strickland, if you would please take a seat in the first chair right inside the door. Tiffany Matthews, if you'd please take a seat in the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Brandon Jackson, 8597, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. You are here on 2 different matters. The first matter is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, that's a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings in that case will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th. Those 2 hearings will be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On those new allegations, you have a $25,000 secured appearance bond. The second matter that you're here on is a failure to appear warrant issued by the Peoria Municipal Court. The underlying allegations in that misdemeanor case are 2 counts of disorderly conduct and 1 count of assault. If you don't already have a lawyer working with you in the misdemeanor case, you are entitled to a lawyer at a minimum for purposes of release conditions. The lawyer for you in the misdemeanor case will be appointed at your next hearing. Your next hearing on the misdemeanor allegations will be an arraignment August 28th. That one will be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Peoria Municipal Court. On the Peoria warrant, you have a $250 secured appearance bond. So that means your total bond will be $25,250. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot have any contact with the victim of the alleged assault in the new case. You cannot possess any weapons or consume any drugs without a valid prescription. If any orders of protection or orders against harassment have been or are later served upon you, you must also strictly comply with the terms of those orders. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, you can step back and get your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Anthony Strickland, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Ms. Matthews, if you're not already in there, can you work your way to the first chair? DeCarlo Smith to the second chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Anthony Strickland, 31901.
Thank you, Mr. Strickland. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 11 counts of organized retail theft. They are all Class 4 felonies. It looks like these alleged offenses were committed between January 17th and July 14th of all of 2025. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On these allegations, based in part on a written recommendation from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, you will have a $15,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released, you cannot return to the scene where any of the alleged offenses took place. You cannot have contact with any alleged witnesses or co-defendants. And if released from custody, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Strickland. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thanks.
Tiffany Matthews, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Smith, if you aren't in the first chair, if you'd work your way there, please. And then if I could have Gabriel Von Tobel in the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Tiffany Matthews, 4/12/97.
Did you say 4/12?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Matthews. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of endangerment. Those 3 are Class 6 felonies. 1 count of resisting arrest, also a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of obstruction, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support all of these allegations with the exception of the resisting arrest allegation. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation. I have appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On these allegations, you have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You cannot initiate contact with the arresting law enforcement officers. You also could not have contact with any minors or possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yeah, but I have a question.
Okay.
When you said you found probable cause for it, what do you mean?
That means that based on the information provided to me by law enforcement, if that information is proven true later on in the proceedings, the information provided to me would meet the minimum elements of the crimes charged. With the exception of that resisting arrest one, I could not make that determination on that allegation. Okay. So it doesn't mean that I'm determining that you in fact committed these offenses. That will be up to later in the proceedings a different judge. All it means is that the information law enforcement gave me, if true, would meet the minimum elements of the charged crime.
What does that mean, meet the minimum elements?
So
it means I did it?
So no, it means, so hypothetically speaking, if an aggravated assault charge required elements 1 and elements 2, law enforcement has given me a fact that I could say because of this, element 1 could have been met, because of this, element 2 could have been met. It doesn't mean that the facts are true. It just means if they are, the elements of the crimes are met. Whether or not those facts are true is what you and your lawyer will work to develop throughout this case. You also have an opportunity to present any defenses that you have if those facts are true. So I'm not determining that the facts are true here today. So I'm not saying you did this. I'm just saying if that information were to be proven true at trial, the elements of the crime would be met.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Matthews. You can step back and get your paperwork. DeCarlo Smith, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Van Tobel, if you would move over to the first chair, please. Jack Modi, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Carlos Smith, 8693.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 2 counts of aggravated assault, both Class 4 felonies, 3 counts of resisting arrest, all Class 6 felonies, and 1 count of obstruction, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support the aggravated assault allegations and 2 of the 3 resisting arrest allegations. I did not find probable cause to support the 3rd resisting arrest allegation or the obstruction allegation. I did appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On the allegations supported by probable cause, you have a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons and you could not possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork. Gabriel Van Tobel, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Officer, is there only 1 chair inside the door?
There's only 1 chair.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Modi, then, if you would take a seat in the chair. Sorry about that, guys. I thought there were 2. Okay, can I have your name and date of birth?
Gabriel Von Tobel, 61205.
Thank you, Mr. Von Tobel. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of theft of a means of transportation. It is a Class 3 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I have appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that allegation, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Yep. If you post that and you are released, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You also could not possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor. I was at a motel, and a helicopter came overhead. I was with two of my buddies. There was a man in a stolen car that I had not even seen. I had no keys on me.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Talk to your lawyer about that. Talk to your lawyer about the circumstances.
Talk to the lawyer today. I have no family.
I understand.
I have two
we
babies.
Talked about. Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to talk over you. Go ahead and step back to your left. Okay, Jack Modi, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Sarah Hernandez, if you would please take a seat in the chair right inside the door. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Jack Moat, 2/11/57.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moat. I apologize, I got that wrong. Okay, you are here on 2 probation violation warrants. In both cases, petitions to revoke your probation were filed. Both of them allege that you have violated terms 3, 5, and 15 of your probation. One of the 2 also alleges a violation of term 4. I have appointed a lawyer to represent you in both cases. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment September 2nd. It'll be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On these 2 warrants, you have a total secured appearance bond of $1,250. It is $750 on one of the warrants, $500 on the second. So $1,250 total. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moat. You can step back to your left. Sarah Hernandez, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Leonard Gooseby, if you'd work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Sarah Jane Hernandez, 13186.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. You are here on 2 different matters. The first matter that you're here on is allegations of new offenses. Those allegations are 1 count of escaping a correctional facility, 1 count of causing criminal damage. Those are both class 6 felonies. 1 count of resisting arrest, a class 1 misdemeanor. 1 count of failing to obey a police officer, and 1 count of obstruction. Those last 2 are class 2 misdemeanors. I did find probable cause to support all of these allegations with the exception of the escape allegation. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation. The second matter that you're here on is an allegation that those new charges supported by probable cause constitute term 1 violations of your probation. In both of these cases, I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next court hearing will be a status conference in the new case and a probation hearing on the probation matter. Those hearings will be September 2nd at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. You will then have a second hearing on the new case September 4th at 8:30. So September 2nd and September 4th at 8:30 downtown are your 2 hearing dates. On each of these 2 matters, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. That means your total bond will be $1,000, all secured appearance. If you post that bond and you are released from custody, you cannot return to the scene where you were arrested here on the new allegations, and you cannot possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hernandez. You can step back and get your paperwork. Leonard Gooseby, if you would work your way into the courtroom, please. Alexia Gonzalez, if you'd work your way to the chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Leonard Earl Gooseby Jr.
And what's your date of birth?
July 12, 1990.
Thank you, Mr. Gooseby. You are here on a bench warrant issued by the Superior Court when you failed to appear at a status conference. It looks like in an existing case involving dangerous drug allegations and criminal trespassing allegations. You have a lawyer already assigned to you in that case. That lawyer will continue to defend you. Your next court hearings will be a new status conference September 2nd, and then you will have a preliminary hearing September 4th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that warrant, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims, and you cannot possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions? Was that a yes? Yes. Okay, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork. Alexia Gonzalez, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Julia Burke, if you'd work your way to the chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Alexia Irene Gonzalez, 3502.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. You are here on 2 bench warrants, both issued by the probation court when you failed to appear at revocation arraignment hearings. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. You might already have a lawyer in those probation cases. If you do, that lawyer will stay on and represent you. But if you don't have one, you'll get one at your next hearing. That hearing is going to be a revocation arraignment hearing September 2nd at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. So 1 hearing date and time, but 2 cases on that calendar. On each of these 2 warrants, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $1,000, all secured appearance. If you post that and you're released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay.
My bond hasn't been posted?
If it has been, you can talk to MCSO. I don't have any information to suggest that it's been posted, but it could have been and they know about it.
Okay.
So talk to MCSO.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Julia Burke, if you would work your way into the courtroom, please. Arlene Bajorquez Perez, if you'd work your way to the chair. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Julia Burke, 429-2002.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants. In both cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you in both cases. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment September 2nd. It'll be at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On each of these 2 warrants, you have a $100 secured appearance bond. So your total bond is $200. It is all secured appearance. If you post it and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Burke. You can step back to your left. Arlene Bajorquez Perez, if you would work your way into the courtroom. Rayland Buelnager, if you'd work your way to the chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Arlene Selene Bojorquez Perez, and the date of birth is 10/30/1980.
Did you say 80 or 90?
1980.
1980. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Ms. Bajorquez Perez. Okay, you are here on an allegation of a new charge. The allegation is 1 count of taking contraband into a correctional facility. It is a Class 2 felony alleged to have been committed yesterday, August 25th. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings in this case will be a status conference September 2nd and then a preliminary hearing September 4th, both of them at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On this new allegation, you have a $50 secured appearance bond. If you post that bond and any other bond you're being held on and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and then you would be responsible for getting yourself to all of your next court hearings. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Raymond Buelnager. Oh, is it Buelna Jr.? It might be Buelna Jr. Come on in, I'll get it right when you're in the courtroom. Daniel Nastosi, if you would work your way to the chair. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Raymond Buelna Jr. III, 5/27/1989.
Okay, and is your last name Buelna and then your designation is Junior?
Yeah, the DMV did that, and I tried to go fix it, but they didn't want it.
So on your driver's license, does it look like your last name is Buelnager?
Bernard. It says, because if you put Junior together, it's Bernard.
I'm sorry, is your last name Buelnar?
No, it's Buelna and
Okay.
then Junior.
But then the third?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and I'm sorry, I was so caught up with your name, I missed your date of birth. Can you give it to me one more time?
5/27/1989.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you are here on an initial arrest warrant. That was issued after, an arrest warrant that was issued after a direct complaint was filed. A direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. The allegations in that direct complaint are 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. It's a Class 5 felony. 1 count of misdemeanor driving under the influence, and 1 count of misdemeanor driving on a suspended license. The warrant alleges that all of these offenses were committed August 7th of 2024. I appointed a lawyer to defend you in this case. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 10th and then a preliminary hearing September 12th. September 10th, your first hearing, September 12th, your second hearing. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you would be released from custody without having to post a bond. You would then be responsible for getting yourself to those hearings on the 10th and the 12th. You would also be required upon release not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And if you don't have a valid driver's license, upon release, you could not operate a motor vehicle. Okay, Mr. Boland, do you understand those conditions, and do you agree that you will abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Daniel Nastosi, if you would work your way into the courtroom. Fabian Ochoa, if you'd work your way to the second chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Daniel Nastosi, 9/7/1963.
Thank you very much, sir. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespassing on a railroad, that's a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those new allegations, and I've appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 10th and then a preliminary hearing September 12th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you would be released without having to post a bond. You would then be responsible for getting yourself to both of those next court hearings, and you would be required upon release not to return to the scene where you were allegedly trespassing. You also could not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions and agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Fabian Ochoa, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Stephen McCollum, if you'd work your way to the chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Fabian Ochoa, birthday is October 28th of 1989.
Thank you, Mr. Ochoa. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference September 10th and then a preliminary hearing September 12th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance in this case. That means you would be released without having to post a bond. Upon release, you would be required to get yourself to both of your next court hearings, and you would be ordered not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription once you were out of custody. Do you understand those conditions and agree that you'll abide by them if you're released without a bond?
I do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ochoa. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Stephen McCollum, if you would work your way into the courtroom, please. Irvin Ortiz, if you'd work your way to the chair. May I please have your name and date of birth?
Stephen Lynn McCullum, February 4th, 1971.
Thank you very much. I apologize for getting your first name wrong.
That's fine.
Okay, you are here on a failure to appear warrant issued by the El Centro Justice Court. It looks like the underlying allegation in that case is a misdemeanor criminal trespassing allegation. Because it is a misdemeanor matter, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. What that means is if you don't already have a lawyer working with you in that case, but you want one, you'll have to hire one at your own expense.
I can represent myself.
Okay. All right. Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing September 11th. It will be at 8:30 in the morning in the El Centro Justice Court. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, so you would be released from custody, and then you would be responsible for getting yourself to that hearing September 11th. Upon release, you would be ordered not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. McCollum?
I have a vehicle now. I didn't have a vehicle before.
So you couldn't get there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you will agree to get yourself to court September 11th?
I will.
Okay, very good. In your paperwork, you're going to have that date, time, you'll have the address and phone number to the court. If you don't know where it is, you could give them a call or put it into GPS.
Google it.
Okay, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. McCollum. You can step back and get your paperwork. Irvin Ortiz, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Irvin Ortiz, 10/16/05.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. The allegation against you is one count of burglary. It is a Class 4 felony. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation. My finding of no probable cause does not mean that that allegation is legally dismissed. It is possible that the county attorney's office will file charges on that allegation, but what my finding of no probable cause does mean is that you will be released from custody today with no restrictions except for one. That one, or I guess I should say two, because you're going to have two hearings. So those two restrictions are that you attend court hearings. The first one will be a status conference September 10th. The second will be a preliminary hearing September 12th. They'll both be at 8:30 downtown. When you go to court on September 10th at 8:30, you will find out if the county attorney has filed charges. If the county attorney has charged this case, I appointed a lawyer to defend you, and a lawyer will be present at your next court hearing.
All right, thank you.
Hold on one second. If the county attorney charges this and you don't go to court on September 10th, that judge is going to issue a warrant for your arrest. So you're going to get out of custody here today, but please make sure you're in court September 10th at 8:30 so you don't have to come back here and do this again.
All right, cool.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Ortiz?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You can step back and get your paperwork. Officers, can one of you tell me why 15 Mohammed is not in the courtroom?
That's gonna be a house call.
Why? Why is he in ISO?
Refusing orders.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, number 15 on the calendar, Mohammed Mensur Mohammed, date of birth 1/1/2004, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population and refusing orders. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are one count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I appointed a lawyer to defend him. His next court hearings will be a status conference September 10th and then a preliminary hearing September 12th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I do intend to release him on his own recognizance. If anything changes after I visit him cell side, the court's final orders regarding his release conditions will be reflected in his written release order. That concludes the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar. This court will stand in recess until 5 p.m.